Are we here?
We're here.
We're live with everybody.
We're live with everyone.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome.
We're global right now.
We are global. We are literally global. We have Dave producing in Rhode Island, and we have me doing whatever the heck I'm supposed to be doing in the Dominican Republic.
Why not?
Woo! Holy cow! What a culture shock,
right?
Yeah, it's just like a different. It's almost like a different country. Oh wait, it's almost like a different planet.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Sarah. Howdy, Sarah.
Hey.
Sarah's a fellow traveler. I can say that now that I travel. And Nicole's here.
Yeah.
Cool. You guys got any questions?
Yeah.
Do you have any like in the queue, Dave?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Of course. What would I be? But, I don't know. All right, here's one. I realized recently that it feels normal for me to be miserable at work, but I'm also not interested in finding or starting another job right now. What are the best ways that I can change my perspective?
That sounds familiar.
To everybody watching, probably. Maybe.
No, I don't know. I may have seen this question before, like literally. But really, it's I'm miserable at work, but I'm also not interested in finding or starting another job right now. Best way is change your perspective. It's you just really just understanding it's your choice to be there, because you're not willing to change. So you can't like we have to be responsible for our own lives. So if you don't want to do what's necessary to change the job, which is fine, we're not always ready to go take a bunch of action to change it. Then you just have to, really get clear on the reality of the situation. And the reality of the situation is that you're choosing to go there. You're choosing, so like this is the most common thing that happens with work. Okay. So we get there and we want the job, and then we get hired and we're all excited. And then a little while later, that excitement fades, and now all of a sudden it's a pain to go into work every day. And it's just a perspective shift. So that perspective shift you're talking about is just understanding that a job is a very simple thing. You get up and go to work every day. So there's a reason that you do that. If there was no reason to get up and go to work, you wouldn't be getting up and going to work. So the reason is, the thing that we lose sight of is that the actual reason we all go to work is because we've decided that going to work, the benefits we receive, usually in the form of money, from going to work are worth the inconvenience of going to work. It's worth it. We get something out of it, So it's like, but we lose sight of that. And it's really simple. It's like, just shift your perspective to the reality of the situation. Oh, I'm miserable. Like, that's not real. That's not dealing with reality. You're literally choosing to go to work. Nobody's putting a gun to your head. Like, so how can a job that something you're choosing to do make you miserable? It doesn't really have the power to do it. You're literally choosing to do it. So actually, if you look closely at it, this job serves a purpose right now that is good enough for you to get up and go do it every day. So don't think, oh, I have to go do this monotonous thing every day that I don't really enjoy. Remind yourself why you're doing it. The why is what's important. Mm-hmm. So it's just, why are you doing it? Well, because you like having a roof over your head and food to eat. And it's worth going and doing this thing for a while each day to be able to have those things. So you're not a victim of your job. You're choosing to do your job. You just have to remind yourself of that, We think we're a victim. Oh, I have to go to work. No, you don't. You do not have to go to work tomorrow. Nobody does. Nobody has to go to work tomorrow. Now, if you would like the benefits that the paycheck provides, well, then you might choose to go to work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. But
You
that's
might
a choice.
choose. Right. It's a choice. You're not a victim of it. You're choosing. You're saying, I would rather have the paycheck than stay home. Okay. You have the freedom of choice. Congratulations on your choice. You know? So really, that's the biggest shift that we have to do. We have to remind ourselves what our why is. You know, like why do you clean the bathroom? Well, because you like to have a clean bathroom. It's worth it. So
you don't have to.
You don't have to. No.
You can say that, but the reasons that you probably think is the choices that you're making.
Right. You say, oh, I have to clean the bathroom. Oh, this sucks. Like somebody's making you. Nobody's making you. You can have a completely disgusting bathroom if you so choose. If you would like to have a clean one, then you might make the choice to clean it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So we have to do that with everything. Stop acting like we're a victim of circumstances, like some external force is making us do all these things that we don't want to do. And it's, no, you're getting something out of it. You don't have to pay your bills. You don't have to pay the electric bill, but it's kind of nice when you have internet. And, you know, the refrigerator's running to keep your food cold. Ooh, that's nice. Well, now all of a sudden it's worth it.
I have a question, actually. Let's flip it on its head, dealing with the job situation. I have a question from Allie, my fiance. She's just put in her notice at her normal 9 to 5 to leave and pursue her career and her passions and work for herself. So she's wondering, when someone's about to do that, how do you deal with how do you deal with any guilt that might come from leaving the stability? And also, almost just as important, how do you adjust in just having all this time and you have to structure everything yourself? So on and so forth.
Yeah, congratulations. First of all, anybody that's heading in the direction of their passions, I'm all for it. So,
absolutely.
And I'm not a really good 9 to 5 kind of guy anyway. So I tend to give, an extra pat on the back for leaving that mentality.
Yeah.
Although it works wonderfully for many people.
Absolutely.
Seriously. But, the guilt really, there's no place for guilt. I mean, you just have to look at it realistically. It's, a job goes two ways. It's just a very simple agreement. It's like I agree to go into your place of business and do a particular job to the best of my ability. In exchange, you give me a paycheck for that. And we have the opportunity, both parties have the opportunity to negotiate the terms and or leave at any particular time.
Yep.
So that's really the structure of it. The guilt comes in when we start thinking there's more to it than there is. It's like there isn't, if, especially with this COVID thing, many businesses have to look at their employees and go, look, I'm sorry, I literally can't pay you. I have no money coming in and I can't pay you. I'm sorry. So are we getting angry with them? Of course not. The external circumstances changed and they needed to renegotiate or end the previous agreement because of the external situations. It's just life. We live in an ever-changing reality. Things change. And so and this is just the other perspective. Her external circumstances changed to a place where she's able to chase her passions. Now, not only should she not feel guilty just as a general rule, but if anybody tries to make you feel guilty, namely anybody from that other job, they don't care about you. They don't. That's
right.
Selfish. That is purely selfish. If somebody walks up to you and says, hi, I'd like to, I'm sorry, we need to part. I need to go chase my dreams. and they go, well, what about me? Like that doesn't work for me. You're supposed to be miserable on a daily basis and not do what brings you joy. So I feel okay. You know, anybody that would act in that, and you know, that's what they're actually saying. That's the energy of it. I'm not saying that somebody, like, if her boss were to say that they'd be actually conscious of what they're doing. You know, most people do things very unconsciously. So it's not like they're, you know, they probably wouldn't be aware that they were actually doing that, but they're actually doing that. You know, when you really get underneath to the words that are the meaning of the words that are coming out of their mouths, that's what would be being said if they were to take that route. So, I mean, really feeling guilt for somebody that's so selfish that they think that you shouldn't be happy, so they benefit. You don't be happy because I want to benefit from your unhappiness.
Right.
You know, so
it's a Fies logic.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. So we just have to push that aside. And
we can incorporate this. How do we handle our day-to-day is my part. And how do you not self-sabotage when pursuing your passion? Because there's a lot of room because you're all on your own, right? And it's all on you. And that's one thing it's both the reason why I think people leave 9-to-5s and also one of the reasons why they're the most scared to, because it's all on you.
Right. And it's not for everyone, you know. I mean, sometimes people can go try this and go, oh my God, no. Like, and I'm the opposite. I am so not supposed to be working for other people. I am horrible at it. I mean, I'm a hard worker, thank God. So I can, like, a lot of my bosses actually liked me. But
for your results.
But because I gave them good results. But like, I hated working out there.
Yeah.
And I've had many jobs and I've hated just about every one of them, you know. So
you really have had a variety of, it's not like you pigeonholed yourself. You've been all over the place.
Oh no, I've been all over the map. I've been a steel worker. I've put in carpet. I've been a personal trainer. I sold cell phones. You name it, man. I've done a version of it.
You hate it all.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's, I mean, the self-sabotage, you said it. I think they kind of blend together. It's just bringing in a certain amount of structure. You have to bring in structure. You just do. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize, and I was taught this, is you have to understand that if you're going to run your own business, you wear multiple hats. You are the owner sometimes, and sometimes you are the manager, and you have to manage yourself. You have to take control and say, hey, worker B, you need to get off your ass and do this. So sometimes you're that manager role with yourself, and then sometimes you're the worker bee. And so you have to at least keep that in mind. I keep it in mind, and it seems to be good enough. Some people have to literally structure certain days and times. Like Monday, I'm going to do CEO work. You know, Tuesday, I'm going to do manager work. Wednesday, I'm going to do worker bee work. And so you just find what works for you. But, you know, I think your why is the biggest thing, you know, like why, like, you know, if I ever really, I'm an action taker, so I tend to do too much. So it's not usually a problem with me doing. Sometimes I get erratic in what I'm doing. Like, I'll just do a bunch of stuff. I'll be so busy and I won't accomplish anything. You know, like, I'll wake up like 2 months later and be like, I'm exhausted. And really, I haven't accomplished anything. Anything that captured my attention, you know, like a squirrel, anything shiny, I'd be like, oh, I got to do this. And, oh, you do this. And it's like, so we have to bring in a structure. So, I think I talked about this on my structure podcast. There's a part of us that wants freedom, a big part of us. So we try to bring in structure. We have this natural resistance to structure because it feels like we're impeding on our own freedom. But when we look closely at it and see that when we bring in surface structure, like, okay, I have to block off time in my schedule. The first half of my day, I'm going to do this. The second half of my day, I'm going to do this type of work. And when we start implementing that surface structure, then all of a sudden our business starts doing well, and we start having more free time that we can actually enjoy because we're making decent money doing what we're supposed to be doing. So, like a lot of times it's a trade-off in the work world. It's like time for money. So, we're breaking out of that paradigm. And when you start bringing in structure and doing what you're supposed to do, you have more money and more time. But you have to do the work. I mean, really, most 9-to-5 jobs, if they get 6 hours of work out of you a day, that's pretty good. So, I mean, when you're at home working for your own business, your own passion, with your own enthusiasm to that, if you work just 6 hours a day, you'd probably blow the roof off, And I mean, sometimes you have to I put in a lot more than 6 hours. There was days where I was working 12 hours a day, but I didn't mind it for the most part. I enjoyed it because it was my passion. So that's another part. You can put in extra effort. Just be careful with that. Somebody like my business is basically set up where the first and the third weeks is when I take care of all my clients. And then the second and the fourth weeks are more administrative work and marketing work and a lot more downtime and a lot more freedom. And I work well like that because I'm the type of guy that I'm either fast or stop. So I want to be, if I'm going to be working with clients, I'll work all day with them, and then if I have a day off, I want the whole day off, so that fits my personality better. But like a friend of mine, Carrie, her life coaching business, she takes off 3 months a year and she spots them throughout the year. So, she works like 3 or 4 months straight and then takes a whole month off. And then works a few months, then takes a whole month off, then works, and that works for her. So you can, keep this stuff in mind, I think, as you're designing what your business looks like, because this is something that Carrie told me when I was building my business. She said, don't, and I didn't do it perfectly. I worked a lot of hours for quite a while, but she was like, people work like 16 hours a day while they're building their business. And they think once it's built, then things are going to slow down. And that's not how it is. And I've heard that from a lot of business people after her. It's like, if you build your business to look the way you want it to look, if you want to work 8 hours a day, then work 8 hours a day while you're building it too. And if you got to put in a little extra here and there, so be it. But I tried putting in downtime almost from the beginning. Once my business got rolling, I made a conscious effort years ago to put my clients in that first and third weeks and then leave those second and fourth more open, so keep that stuff in mind. You can design whatever works for you, but you just got to be accountable. Remind yourself what your why is. Why are you doing it? You're doing it because of the freedom, of the passion, of the joy. That's why you're doing it. So it's worth bringing in some structure and holding yourself accountable.
Is it really obvious and stupid to say that having structure is a huge part of living consciously, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's live on purpose, know why you're doing what you're doing, and make sure you do it.
Yeah.
It's I mean, yeah, it sounds it sounds obvious, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. But it's not obvious though, we have to slow our minds down and really make a conscious effort to do that. Otherwise we go, I really should be structured. I really should be doing better, and I'm not sure. Well, maybe tomorrow will be different. And then we go to bed, and then, well, today isn't that good, and maybe I'll do better tomorrow. And we're going so fast. It is so easy to live, unconsciously.
I think we have a special question coming up. Let's see if we can get somebody.
Hi, guys. I have a question.
Oh, guest producer Ben Barber.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Glenn. Where are you? And oh my God, are you cheating on me with Dave? What is this? I thought we weren't doing a show tonight.
I'm in the Dominican Republic, and yes, I'm cheating on you.
Why are you in the Dominican Republic, and why are you with my best friend?
What you are you are so game show hosty. Why are you in the Dominican Republic, and why are you with my best friend?
Oh, speaking of being a game show host, I do have to go because I have to host the fair. But I love you both. Glenn, how is the Dominican Republic?
It's phenomenal.
Yeah?
I love it.
You look good. You look relaxed and tan.
Yeah.
You say he spent the day on the beach, so.
Yeah, I walked the beach for like 4 hours today.
It's really, he had a tough one today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I had to stop and have some salad, and somebody had to make it for me. It wasn't easy.
You're never coming back, are you?
I'll come back to visit.
All right, Ben. Thank you.
All right, bye, guys. Love you all. See
Love
ya.
you. Oh, this just turned into it. Hey, Mike. Hey, Donna. Hey, Jessica. Sean. Angie.
Let's get another question.
Yeah. Fire some questions.
Sure. I feel like I'm in a perpetual state of trying to grow, but not actually growing. Like maybe I become addicted to self-help in itself.
Yeah.
Any advice?
Yeah. Welcome to half the country.
I don't think this applies to me, unfortunately. To be totally honest, I definitely don't think I'm addicted to self-help.
No, well,
but yes, a lot of people I think are.
Yeah, this is such a common thing. It's really blocking a lot of people from really getting the growth that they're seeking because of that. And it's the what happens is when we do anything good for ourselves, we receive on one level or another a sense of pleasure. So like if we take in a big deep breath and you pay attention to how your body feels, there's a pleasurable sensation going on because you're satisfying a need of the body. So you're doing something that's positive. Well, it's the same thing with anything. And sometimes it's egoic, and sometimes it's just when you're doing self-help stuff, there is a positive feedback. So it's very easy to get addicted to that loop. And I mean, I got addicted to it many years ago myself. And it's, you read something and you're like, oh my God, and you get that, holy crap, that makes so much sense now. Now I understand it. And you feel better and you think that you've gotten something and you didn't. It's just intellectual. There's 3 phases, and I've got a whole podcast on this, 3 phases of shifting yourself. And one is intellectual, one is conceptual, and one is physical. So when we understand, we're so used to learning things on an intellectual level in this world that when we understand something, we go, oh, okay, all right, I got it. And we think we're done. And that doesn't do anything in spiritual growth. We have to get it conceptually and physically. So like the best way to do that is really standing in it, taking some sort of action. A lot of times, if you pay close attention, when you really get like an aha moment, the universe brings in a situation into your life within a week or two for you to actually practice what you learned. to stand in it. So like, let's say you're working on being triggered by your family, and you're like, oh, so yeah, it's not about me, it's about them. And oh, now I get it. Oh, okay, cool. Now I can handle that situation with my family again. Well, buckle up, because it's coming. And you're going to have an opportunity to stand in what you just learned. And a lot of times people get, disgruntled, or they feel, wow, why did this have to happen? I thought I learned that. And then all of a sudden they whack me in the head with it, or that sucked. No, that was your opportunity to stand in it. Because until you stand in it, it doesn't become part of you. It doesn't shift your vibration. You don't become a person who is no longer affected by that, until you act no longer affected by that. So when the situation comes up and triggers you, especially if your eyes are open and you're looking for it, it helps, because you're like, oh, I know what this is. This is my opportunity to stand in it and handle it differently than I used to in the past. And then you stand in it, you handle it differently in the past. And that way it actually shifts your vibration, and you become the growth that you're seeking. So in that's kind of like a specific example, but with that mentality, we have to do that with everything. It's, there is no key to happiness. So stop looking for it. Like, oh, well, I understand something better, so therefore I must be further on my spiritual path. No, like, you can open up spiritually by just sitting on a couch all alone, never reading anything or listening to anybody, meditating and going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper within. You don't need a teacher to awaken spiritually. I mean, can they be helpful? Can they point you in right direction sometimes? Yeah. All that it can be helpful and stuff, but you can't get addicted to taking in information. It's more about implementing. If you took in one piece of information a week and implemented it into your life to the best of your ability, you would grow exponentially more than somebody who took in 200 bits of information a week. It's not about taking in information. It's not about understanding. When I woke up, I understood all kinds of spiritual stuff. My whole life shifted in 3 months, and I didn't understand anything. I didn't understand life. I didn't understand spiritual concepts, I kind of understood spiritual concepts, but they were inside me and I couldn't put words to them. I was just like, oh, well, everything's love. Like, I didn't, I didn't know what was happening, but I didn't have it intellectually. I did not. I wasn't even intellectually capable of understanding most of this stuff. I was so burnt out. So like, it's more important to really implement things into your life and live them and go within than it is to take on more and more stuff, take more and more information, because it's addictive. We go, oh, I understand something. Oh, now I know. Yeah, that doesn't really do anything to change your life. You can know all kinds of stuff, but until you live it, your life isn't going to change. You're just going to get frustrated.
That's great.
Hey, buddy. Buddy's back.
Yeah. Let's get one more real quick.
Yeah.
Nicole says, what's the best way to start to build self-confidence and make it stick, LOL?
Well, I think we can kind of build off what I was just talking about. It's, like what I was just saying is you got to make it part of you. So it's not just about, doing things. It's about trying to shift your vibration into one who has self-confidence. So like a lot of times, we're so intellectual, we're so mentally driven that we go, like I always tell people, if you want self-confidence, self-esteem, self-love, anything like that it's very similar. start treating yourself with respect. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Do nice things for yourself. Start with little things. Building self-confidence specifically, look at your past. Like, I don't care if you're 6. You've done stuff in your life that you can lean on. Life is not that complicated. So if you look back at your life, all of us have overcome difficulty. All of us have overcome adversity. All of us have passed multiple tests in school. All of us have applied ourselves. We've gone on interviews and been well-spoken enough to actually land a job. We've all had a job before. Most of us have had relationships before. Like, we've all done enough in our lives where we've had successes. So just look back on the successes that you have had. A lot of the people that I know that struggle with self-confidence, like when you start diving into their past, they've accomplished amazing things, and they're like, I have no self-confidence. It's like, well, just look what you already did. Like, you've done amazing things, so you can start doing that. But when to get back to what I was starting with, just slow down and feel what it's like. Like when you go, okay, I started at that job and then 6 months later they gave me a promotion. And if that's just intellectual, oh yeah, I did really good at that job and I got that promotion really quick. That was good. Yeah. So I guess I should have self-confidence. And then we go have a coffee. That does nothing, because it's just a mental little thought that goes through. It doesn't stick and it goes right back out. And then the next day we go, geez, I don't feel any better about myself. I did that. I was thinking about my past, but it didn't do anything. That's because you didn't anchor into it. So when you, oh yeah, I got that job. Oh yeah, I got that job. That wasn't easy to get. And the person interviewing me, I had to go through 4 interviews for that thing. And they were all really drilling me, and I did really well. And multiple people had to believe that. Oh, okay. And as you start getting into the specifics, start paying attention to how you feel. Start slowing down and feeling the words. Oh, wow. I really presented myself well there. I really presented myself well there. And just keep saying it slowly until you can feel the bodily sensations of self-confidence. Wow, I really did good there. I really did. And just allow it to resonate and feel. And then, oh, and then I got that promotion. Why did I get that promotion? Oh, well, they said it was because I did this, and that. And slow down on each part and allow yourself to feel the vibration of it. Then it's not just a fleeting mental thought. You bring it down into your energy field and it really starts becoming part of you. So I think that's probably the best way. And, you could probably Google how to build self-confidence. and there's probably a bunch of different little exercises. And most of those exercises won't work if you don't do what I just said. So you can still do the exercises that you found in Google, but slow down and do them the way that I'm saying. Feel it in your body. Feel what it feels like to consider yourself valuable and to know from your past experience that you've actually really have a lot to offer. Because everybody does. We're all unique. I mean, self-confidence is not like BSing yourself. We all are here for a reason. We all have something unique and special to offer. So it's really about, the deepest self-confidence is really about connecting with yourself and getting more comfortable with yourself and living your life the way you're supposed to be living it. And all of a sudden it's like, people are like, boy, you're really confident. It's like, well, I mean, I'm doing what is so naturally me that the confidence just comes with it. You know, if I have to learn to go do something that isn't me, it's harder to have confidence in that. You know, but when you're aligned with doing what is uniquely you, oof, I mean, yeah, it really goes to a whole nother level there. You're welcome, Nicole. I appreciate you too.
I appreciate all of you.
We appreciate all the listeners.
Absolutely.
Cool. I love it. I have people from all over the place here. I have people that I grew up with in Massachusetts and got to know in Rhode Island, and it's
That's
cool.
Awesome. Well, I think we did good for this episode.
We did it. And
thank you to everyone.
And I'm glad it worked. I was wondering, you know, I was like, geez, I hope everything goes well, like from a technical standpoint, because this is the first. I haven't done anything in a week, pretty much, other than hung out on the beach.
Well, fortunately or unfortunately, you're all set to go down there. So,
yeah. This is. I'm glad this is. This was done. Now I know. It's like, okay, the internet's good enough. It's fine, and everything works.
Absolutely.
So we're good. So I'm going to go back to enjoying the Dominican Republic. Oh, there's Deidre. Deidre's down here with me in the DR.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's been great. She took me to the store so I could get groceries.
Oh, there you go.
My first day here, that was such a big help. Then she showed me one of the local beaches. She's been a blessing for sure. So
that's great.
Yeah. So I guess that'll do it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dave, for filling in. I appreciate it.
No problem.
And thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. And send in those podcast ideas, the Q&A ideas, the Ask Glenn Anything ideas. Just send them to my email, glenn@glennambrose.com. And, you know, everything's at glennambrose.com. So check it out. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Dave. We'll see you later.
Bye.